Hello, everyone. This is Juliet Hammond, your host on Inspiring Time with Juliet. I
Hello.
want you to hello. This today we're going to be to interviewing a young man, a wonderful young man, and his father here, who are going to tell us how he got into motor racing. I know you've seen the adverts all over the place. We're going to get to know who Zack is and also speak to Dad, who is so passionate about what Zack is also doing. Okay, so I want you to get your friends together, get people, get a cup of tea, come and let us sit down and listen to this wonderful, inspiring young man called Zack Mumba. Zack, you are welcome to Inspiring Time with Juliet. Hello,
Thank
Zack.
you,
Thank
Juliet.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Juliet,
Juliet.
for having us.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much. And I've got Richard Mumba, the dad as well, who is here to support Zack, obviously. So we're going to go straight into this. Today we're going to be looking at Zack and how he got into motor racing. Zack, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you get into the motor racing? What made you go into motor racing? And you're doing so well in it.
Yeah, so when I was about 6 years old, my dad first took me to like a birthday party, which was about go-karting.
That's it.
And so ever since then, my passion for racing has just been on it. It's been very like curious to me. I've been curious about it, and I've been just been asking to go on it every time. And yeah, ever since then, I started to race professionally, and my dad also took me to a F1 Grand Prix um when I was about 11, and since then, my passion has just been growing and growing. So that's how I started loving racing.
Wonderful. Do you still go to school as well as, race as well? Do you still go to
Yes,
school?
yeah. So I'm in year 9. I'm still in school, and I have a brother and a mom and dad. So yeah,
Yeah. And how old are you, Zach?
I'm 14 years old.
Wow. Wow. So, Richard, you're the dad, and how did you get into kart racing? So you took him to a kart motorsports, right? And he
That's
went
correct.
there, and yeah, and then he actually, you know, participated, and since then he's now so much interested in racing cars, into and
Yeah,
now about to go into professional car racing.
yeah, that's correct. That's interesting. Just a bit of a background. I myself was born into a mechanic-oriented family. My dad was a mechanic. My brother was a mechanic. I'm a computer IT person, but I still have mechanics in me. So when Zach was little, when we used to go and pick his mom, he used to, play with my gear lever when I'm driving. He would just like touching it and playing around. And then one
Mm.
day I decided I will show him how to change gear one, two, three, and four. And since then, every time we would go anywhere, he would be changing gears for me. I would say one, he would put it one, two, and so forth. And then he was just passionate about it. But then I didn't know he had any interest in motorsport. I just thought his kids, they just love cars. So once we took him to a friend's birthday party, and at the party they were doing go-karts, and he
Yeah.
loved it. He just loved racing. So um, after that session, he wanted me to take him to that place almost every week. And so we did for many weeks. Then the lockdown came. We returned back to that place, and the place was shut. And then we looked up on the phone where we could find a new racing place. We went to this place. It was an outdoor, proper racing track. We
Yes.
went on the track, and the first day he gave it a shot. The marshals there, they liked him, and straight away they gave us a card to go and start a development racing class with them. And since then, for 3 years now, we've been racing, and he's won a number of championships. But in between, and every year, I take Zack and his brother to Silverstone to go and watch the real action Lewis Hamilton. But throughout the year as well, we watch F1 on TV consistently. So that's how Zack has developed this passion, and he keeps going on, and he loves it, and is showing in his championship wins.
And this is, one of the reasons why we do this inspiring time with Juliet is to kind of let parents know about things like this, that they can actually encourage their children to do something that they really love doing. And it might even be something that they can, run with as a career and do well. And live a wonderful life with that. So what sparked your interest? Why did you, what is it about car racing that you like so much?
For me, it's a lot. But the number one thing for me is the speed.
The speed.
I love going at high speeds. I also like the smell of the petrol. And I also like, obviously, winning as well. Obviously, the best part about sport is the winning part. So obviously, when I win, it encouraged me to obviously get closer to my dream and obviously be the best that I can be.
So I can see all the trophies you won behind you, all of that. So you have been winning for quite a lot. What do you enjoy so much about the winning, the actual being called out and say, Zack, you've won this, right?
For me, every time I win, it encouraged me to obviously go a step further, and also like it helps me to be able to like learn things, and obviously it attracts other people as well, so I can obviously get a higher reputation, and also like attract sponsorship. So every time I win, it also like it also helps me. It helps me and my family as well. Like it makes my family proud and helps them to also like believe in me, so I can obviously get closer to my dream.
So that's absolutely amazing. What does the family and the friends think about Zack doing all of this, Richard? what do they think about you, doing all of this racing? I mean, racing for parents, your parents might be thinking that it's quite a dangerous sport, and yet look at you, you love it so much. You always want to go there every week, and you won all of these trophies. What are your siblings and even your friends? What are they saying about it?
So at school, obviously, because my sport is not as famous as like football or basketball, so a lot of people are like curious, but also some of them are very like supportive to me, and like it helps me want to like continue to be able to win more. So I think for me, most people are very supportive, especially my family and my friends, which really helps me to obviously be the best.
They are, some of them are supportive, obviously, and some of them actually wills you on
Yeah, yeah.
to do that. Do your mom, does she come to watch you race as well? Does she come to watch?
Yeah, once in a time, and yeah, she does. But the main help is my dad. He's really helpful. He's without him, I won't be here today, and yeah, I think he's
Mm,
really taught me a lot to be able to not give up, work hard, and he's just
mm.
really supportive. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Richard, I was just wondering, there must have been challenges, him going into motorsports and things. There must have been challenges. How are you overcoming all those challenges? How is he actually? How is Zach overcoming those challenges?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question because as I said earlier, we didn't go into motorsport like a planned thing, just
Mm,
something that happened to us. So most of the things and challenges that we knew were just finding out, etc., etc. But one of the biggest challenges that I noticed, um, uh, even well, people of my community and even people there, the first thing they would mention to me was motorsport is very expensive, and 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 um, and I was thinking, okay, fine, if it's expensive, what are you doing here? Yes, it is expensive, and as a starter who you don't know the mechanics of the sport, it's enough to deter you, to stop you. But we thank God when we started, and especially Zach started winning championship. He had registered himself as a full-time member in the club. They give you discounts, and then with discounts, it becomes a little bit more, easier to do things. But it's still challenging because motorsport is not. Um, like you have a coach in a football who's training you to play football.
mm, yeah.
If you want to get to the top, one of the
Mhm,
biggest challenge is getting a coach, somebody who
mhm,
will coach you on how to race. Because in racing, people looking on the outside, they think racing is just going fast, but there's so much skill, there's so much, that goes into it. And so getting a proper coach is very expensive. But not only
mhm,
expensive, it's a school. They'll teach you things like racing line, braking markers, how to overtake, defend. It's a lot of things. But sometimes when you go to these expensive coaches, they give you a 1 day crash course, which is not the way you want a child who is 12 to learn. It takes time
mhm.
to understand all the
Yeah.
mechanics. But if you do it that way, you keep going, you have to cough up a lot. So one of the challenges that we have is getting Zach um, a coach on a consistent basis. Otherwise, when he goes on the track, he is just going round and round and round. That's the main challenge. But the other challenges, we just have to fight them as we can. We thank God we are believers. We are strong believers in a God, and we know that Zach is where he is because God has gifted him. And
Lift
that
him
to us
there.
has been something so powerful that we've always used. To overcome the challenges. He's had challenges himself as a driver. Sometimes no kids will talk to him, or when he won a championship, they'll do nasty things, but what keeps us going is we have a belief that God is bigger than all. So there are quite a number of challenges that we go through. I wish that we had the time, but
Mhm.
they've been there and we expect them to come because the more he starts winning and getting better, there will be opposition and so forth. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how we've overcome those challenges so far. But also, we have a good support network. We have my
Mhm.
Pastor Dr. Kufuna. He calls us every day, praying with us when we get down. My wife also, even though she's not like she doesn't like the speed, but she's always there, getting the
Same.
food, supporting. Yeah, so we do have a good support network, and we
Mhm.
have just learned to overcome every challenge that comes.
Good. And Zach, I just want to tell you that, we are joining that support network as well. We're going to be supporting you all
Thank
throughout
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
your
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
dreams. What do you aspire? What is your goals? And, what do you dream about in the future? What do you want to do? Where do you want to take all of this to?
So my dream is obviously to be a Formula One champion. I think every time I go to Silverstone, I look at Lewis Hamilton, who is my idol, and he always quotes to say that kids like me can always like do what he does, and that really inspires me. And because he's a quick driver, and yeah, and I want to do what he does, and even better. So yeah, so that is my official dream. But my goals so far right now is to try and get some sponsorship to try and race across the country
Yeah,
and start racing in touring cars and trying to obviously win races, championships, and
yeah.
hopefully get closer to my dream.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds absolutely wonderful, honestly. And because he has that dream there, he has a goal, he will achieve it. He has a mindset. I mean, look at him. He's already expressing himself, he's already itemizing those goals and those dreams. I am so proud of you, Zach. I am. What would you advise other children that are inspiring to do what you do, or even to follow your footsteps to do other stuff? What would you say to them? What is your advice to the to people your age?
Um, my advice is to obviously have that passion. Um, Obviously, if you don't have a passion, then it won't be as fun. You need to, you love something that you want to do every day,
Mhm.
and not making it become like a chore or a job. So, and also about not giving up. I think that's
Yeah,
like a big thing that most people do.
yeah,
It's easy to give up, but at the end of the day, if you work hard, then you eventually get there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
However, f- for me, I think it's about following God, trusting Him, having faith in Him, and yeah, you'll be able to get there in the end.
yeah. Wow, 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 wow. He's almost talking like a grown up. Almost, almost. When you say trusting God, and when I hear youths talking about trusting God, relying on Him, and following His words and His, I get so excited. So I Zach, we are with you. We are solidly with you. Richard, what advice would you give to parents that their children are aspiring to be whatever it is, maybe going to motor racing like Zach, or perhaps doing other stuff as well, especially people of color as well, their children doing things that are not like traditionally acceptable in the household, it's not something that they are used to. Having our children, they come in and they tell us we want to do this and we've never had or seen it before. What advice will you give to the parents?
I think my advice would be, first of all, take an interest in your kids and your children. I know we are in a generation where we're working so hard to make ends meet. We're so busy, time is so precious, but make time. And once you make time, you find out what they are good at. Try to find the time and invest, whatever it is in those abilities. So, for example, with Zach, both him and the brother, they started off with football. Zach started off as a footballer, and at the same time, he loved this passion of go-karting. We were just doing it as just like fun.
Yeah.
But then when he started winning and he started doing races on a Sunday, both on a Sunday, the coach at the football game, he says you have to choose between staying in or you're out. So he gave
Mhm.
us 2 weeks, and Zach looked into himself and we had a discussion, and he says, Daddy, my passion is in racing. And so we went that way. We've forgotten football, but at least we gave football a try. We knew it's not something. So I think my advice to parents is try them out. Try what. Sometimes I think the danger with parenting. Sometimes we want our kids to be us. So if you're an IT person, you want to
Mm-hmm.
enforce your IT career
Yeah.
on them, or footballer. Even at the race, I've seen parents who are racers. The way they talk to their kids, you can see that the man is trying to impose his calling on the kid. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it breaks children. But
Mm-hmm.
if they find what they enjoy doing, like Zach said, the passion, it shouldn't become a chore. It's something that you enjoy doing. I think that will lead to something more powerful. So my advice is just play around with your kids. Try different things and see where the passion, the interest it lies, and that could end up, because for us, like in racing, all
Yeah.
the good drivers, the best driver, the Lewis Hamilton, they are kids who started racing at 6. And if you listen to Lewis, it's something that also just started off like for fun. But his father was there to invest time, and you know, it's a
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice. I do
Mm-hmm.
appreciate how much time goes in. I've lost my weekends, but I think if it's that's a calling, if that's what God has called us to do, I am happy to do
Just
it. So
carry
for
on.
me, yeah,
I think the parents should really support their children as much as they can, in
yeah,
whatever it is that they want to do. At least
yeah,
try it out, show interest, be there,
that's
take them
correct.
there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
be a parent, the cheering. I remember I go into volleyball and sometimes netball,
yeah,
and I'm cheering. I'm one of the, the parents that are saying, go, run, to
yeah,
catch it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's important
yeah.
that we're there to support them. It's important
Very
that we're
important.
showing interest. Forget
Very
about the
important.
expense right now, but whatever their
Yeah,
passion is, just try to
yeah,
support them in
yeah.
that. Is very, very crucial. There must be some upcoming events that is coming up now. I know you have one at local level, isn't it, Zach? And you have also one in national levels and things like that. So, what is coming up now? What is the next thing? What is what are you expecting to happen that you want people to know about?
Yeah, so this year there will be a documentary about a prominent celebrity. Um, so yeah, that will be coming out this year, and I think that will really help me grow and expand and attract sponsorship and other people to me. And yeah, hopefully that will be exciting, and hopefully it can be um the next big thing.
Yeah, just to
I
share
know
some.
he's into a documentary car racing. He's in movies now. They're calling him all over the place, isn't it? Richard.
Yeah,
That's what Zach is trying to say.
yeah.
He's
So,
into adverts and different things, and
yeah.
they're all coming in.
So, a US-based a movie company, they were looking for kids who emulate a particular racing driver who's doing a documentary. And Zach, because of his speed and his talent and his skill, was picked to act as that individual. And so we did a movie for a few days in London, and yeah, the movie is coming out maybe sometime this year. Obviously, we are under non-disclosure, but that was a big thing to be selected as that individual and to drive as that individual is
Yeah.
so powerful, and we're looking forward to that, and we hope that will also push Zach towards his career. So that's one of the big things that we're looking forward to this year. We're also going national now. He's won a number of races, as you can see, his trophies on a club level, but now we're
Yeah.
taking it national. So
Mm.
15th of March for 10 rounds, we'll be going around the country racing. So
Yeah.
look out
Wow.
for Zach. in a few months, weeks time.
So excited for Zach. I am so excited for you. And listen,
Thank you.
we're going to be inviting you over and over to come and tell us how far you've gone and what is going on, and just to give us an update in the future, because we are going to be watching you. We're not just going to watch you here on the radio and TV. We're going to watch you on the national television sets as well. My goodness, and the movie that is coming out and the documentary that is coming out and everything is all very exciting, and I want to wish you well. I want to wish you well. And I
Thank
pray that, that your parents also, that God will give them all they need
Thank
to
you.
be able to see that your dreams come true. All they need. And God is more than able to do that. Every step of the way, the Lord will prove himself in your life, and God will protect you. It is a very risky sport, but we're going to be covering you. We're going to be praying and just making sure that every race that you go to, that God leads you there and bring you back home safe too. I want to wish you well. And thank you so much for coming to my show. And like I said, we're going to invite you again in the future to see how you're getting on. In the meantime, be encouraged. I know that people are behind you and supporting you. Okay?
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Word,
Juliet.
anything that you want to say? Any last word, Dad?
No, not really. I just wanted to say thank you for inviting me to be in this show. I was
Pleasure.
excited ever since I found out I was going to be in this show. So yeah, thank you, and hopefully I can meet you again.
You will, surely, the pleasure is all ours. The pleasure is all ours. I was speaking to one of our producers, and everyone is just so excited about Zach, and we wish you well. And that, do you have any last word, anything that you want to say to anyone listening today?
I think, first, like Zach said, thank you for the opportunity to have this. We're so much honored. Any last thing I would like to say? I think enjoy life. Enjoy what God has gifted you. It may not be resting. It may be your kids are just good at something. Support them. Enjoy them. And find the time. Because, like for me, we always say with my wife, let's enjoy them. Let's do things together. Very soon there will be adults. They don't even want us to be around them. So I'll encourage any parent out there, just find the time. It could just be anything. We're living in a generation where anything is possible. And we also serve a big God. There's no obstacle, situation, circumstance that can stop you out there. So, especially people from our community, just go, just believe in God, believe in yourself, and we can do it. We serve a big God, and we're just so honored to be on this journey. God will always provide. So for me, that's all I can say to my fellow parents there. Just enjoy life. Believe in this
Enjoy life.
God, and yeah, just enjoy life.
Enjoy life. And enjoy the children. Enjoy them,
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yes. Wow. Well, thank you so much. You've said it all. Until we see you again, I wish you well. And for
Thank
our
you so
viewers
much.
and our listeners, thank you for joining us today. We're going to see you again next week. Please keep praying and keep encouraging this man and the son as well, Zach. Thank you, Zach, and thank you, Richard, for coming to my
Thank
show.
you. Okay.
Thank
God
you for
bless.
having us. Thank
Thank
you.
you. God
Bye.
Bye.
bless. Bye.
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 Bye.